Okay. Beis Shvat, Yartzeit of Reb Zusha, Schos Yagan Lein Makal Yisrael. Reb Zusha was from the Talmidim Hamavakim of the Mezrach Maggid. He was like the Rosh of the Talmidim. I believe in the Tzava, the Mezrach Maggid, he put Reb Zusha to be like his Bimkaim, his successor. He had I don't remember what had to do with him by when the Maggid was nifter, so he only let like certain people in. And Reb Zusha was there, and Reb Zusha was in charge of the Torah, I believe. Reb Zusha, with all the Talmidim, the Gedolim, the Ga'inim that were Talmidim Baal Shem Tov, Reb Zusha had a special place over there. They bring over here that the Maggid once told to Reb Zusha, he told him, he says that, remember, he told him that you were Kohen Gadol. Do you remember you're neshama, you're the sharish neshama of Shmuel Kohen Gadol. So he said, I don't remember. So he told him, think really hard. And he was misplained, and he remembered. And so from then on, whenever he died for the Amud on Yom Kippur, when he got to that Avodah, he would say the Kach Hayisi Omer. Right? That's Rabbi Zusha. I have a story I said many years ago. I don't know if I've ever said it in this decade, this forum. Very cute story with the Rabbi Zusha and his brother Rabbi Elimelech. A lot of the stories are them together, and they're both big tzaddikim, but their derech of avodah was a little different. Rabbi Zusha always comes across as a little bit more easygoing, and Rabbi Elimelech tends to be a little more intense. I'm not saying that's the way it was. I think in this story that's the way they typically tend to foil each other. The story goes that so the Rebbe Zusha and the Rebbe Elimelech went for years into Galus. Back in the day, people wanted to reach high levels. So if you want to reach Madrigas, what do you have to do? You have to mavati yourself. You have to get rid of it. You have to turn yourself into a shmata. How do you become a shmata? Right? So you go from town to town, dressed in tattered clothing, sleep in the shul. You don't ask anyone for anything, and maybe people give you, maybe people don't, and you never stay more than one night in one place. And you go, literally, it's a whirlwind of movement and hashpala and being viewed as a garnish for and whatever amount of time it's 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever amount of times a year. It could be years. This way, this was how they were literally mavatal themselves from being to be nothing. These are people of stature. These are people that are bottom of our communities, and they're chashuv people. They totally left it all behind to take on a life of anonymity. Life of anonymity and abuse. What they do say is they always look to make tikkun wherever they were in a nisterdika way. So the famous stories are like that. They were able to see Baruch HaKadosh what type of a very certain unit had done, and they were sitting next to him in shul, and they would start saying achet. They say, "Oh, Zisha, you remember that chet you did on this day at that time with this lady and that thing, and you have such charot," and they're sitting there go prat after prat. The guy listened to him and saying, "What? That was you? That was me?" and it would be this person, but he'd be with such a serious tshuva, the person would break down, and they'd be married people to tshuva like that. Or b'chlal they were the pshuti am. That the avodah has value. That's what that really the sharish of Hasidus was, is that every yid is a nuclear reactor, and you have to let every yid know if his avodah is chashuv, and his avodah could be, he could do it with his leiv, with his ratzon. Is Klal Yisrael needs it. Klal Yisrael depends on it, and giving that message over to everyone in Klal Yisrael. This was a message that Pashut people would accept from other Pashut people. And this was a message that the Rebbe Elimelech of Reb Zusha would spread wherever they went. The story goes that one time they needed a place to stay, and they knocked on the door of an inn, and they asked the innkeeper, "Do you mind if you lay sleep in the dining room for the night?" He said, "Okay, let them in." They go into a corner, and little did they know that there was a chasna in town. They decided they're going to make the suda inside. In the last minute, they're going to make the suda inside this dining room of this kretschma, whatever it was. And so they're doing the Chassid celebration, and the Rebbe Zusha and Belimelech are sleeping there against the wall, and they're dancing, whatever. And they decided that to liven up the dancing, they're going to schlep in one of the schleppers sleeping over there, to schlep him into the dancing. So the Rebbe Belimelech was next to the wall, and the Rebbe Zusha was closer to the group. So when they come to schlep someone, they schlep the Rebbe Zusha into the circle, and mavaz him, they kick him and everything, and when they're done with him, they lead him back to his spot. He lays down again. 10 minutes later, the dancing is getting a little bit schwach. Looks like you know the story. 10 minutes later, the dancing is getting a little schwach. They decided, live up, we brought that beggar in. We brought that beggar in 10 minutes ago. They schlep Reb Zusha again, and into the middle, and they had things could become simcha. They can mavaz him a little bit more, and he goes back, lays back down. The Rebbe Belimelech turns to his brothers. Reb Zusha says, Reb Zusha, why are you so fortunate? You get all the desires, you get all these. What am I, chopped liver? What's up is that you get all the Yisurim, you get all the bizayin, and I get nothing. So Reb Zusha says, it's nothing to do with me. It's not my schus. I'm not any better than you. It says, I happen to be sitting. You're against the wall. I'm closer. So you got me. Tell you what. Let's switch spots. I'll go next to the wall. You go and you sleep up. They'll probably come back and you'll get a chance to get some bizayinis. So sure enough, they switch spots. And it's sure enough, 10 minutes later, as they predicted, things need a little invigoration, and they come over to schlep the beggar. They're about to schlep Reb Belimelech, and the one guy says, "Hey, we just slept this guy twice already. Let's schlep the other guy." And they schlep Reb Zusha for a third time, and again he gets his back. And when they're done with him, they bring it back, and the Reb Belimelech starts crying. You're so lucky. Why would Kadosh Baruch Hu hates me so much? He doesn't want me to have this. Why only you? Why are you so fortunate? Reb Zusha says, I guess today's my lucky day. That's that is like a classic story of the Rebbe Zusha. That it's interesting. They bring over here to how the Rebbe Zusha was makabel on himself. I think it was on Rosh Hashanah. He would make him mishaberach, and he would make him mishaberach that he's for the Klal Yisrael, right? And he would say that he's makabel ba'avur the Rebbe Zusha is makabel al atzmai the yisurim shall call Klal Yisrael. He's going to take on him all the suffering of Klal Yisrael, and he would say except for the mumrim and apikorsim. And he would make this mishaberach, and expect the Kal to answer Amen. They would refuse to answer Amen, and he used to get so upset. Why are you answering Amen? I'm trying to do this tremendous avodah, to undertake this the Yisurim of Klal Yisrael. They have over here. He says over here they just have different members for the Shem Reb Zusha. He says. He says that in saying in Halal, right? So he says that there's once a kitrig that there's no one's learning Torah Lishma, no one's doing Avodas Hashem Lishma. Everyone has pnius, everyone has ulterior motives, and this was a kitrig of Klal Yisrael that Rosh Hashanah, that no one's doing Torah Lishma, no one's doing Avodah Lishma. How can we give the Klal Yisrael a good year? So Reb Zusha chapped the kitchen and he said, Azay. He says, Rebbeinu Shloim, you're right. We're doing Avodah. We're doing Avodah. Shalom Lishma. We're doing it for ourselves. We're doing it for our own ulterior motives. He says, so you, Rebbeinu, also, right? You also do it for ulterior motives, right? You also do your avodah ulterior motives. Leilana Hashem, leilana. Don't be kind to Klal Yisrael for us. Kila shimcha tein kavod al chas mitecha. He says you should be mischased to Klal Yisrael for your own ulterior motives, for your own kavod. Right? And with this bargaining, he was able to be mahapach the din. You have over here. Let's see what else you have over here. They say that Reb Zusha used to give brachas to other yidden. He would say, you should be bari v'chazak k'may guy. You should be as strong and healthy as a guy. So yes, what's up as a guy? So he says that he says that a guy has no schus to be strong and healthy. Mamish no schus, right? And Afa Pikain, right? He doesn't do any, doesn't learn Torah, doesn't do any mitzvah. Afa Pikain, and Kadosh Baruch Hu gives him all this bracha of being strong and healthy. He says Kol Sheked Yidden, right? If they're Yidden and do some mitzvahs, even if they're not right, they should at least have they should have the bracha and the siyat d'shmaya of that Kadosh Baruch Hu, the chesed that he shows to the Gaim of the world. He says, interesting. There are different the racham of tzaddikim. Some tzaddikim would daven only for the chasidim's shleimus and avodas Hashem, and other tzaddikim were more liberal, and they would daven very, very openly that their chasidim should have a chavas hadas, they should have parnos, they should have kol tov and olam hazeh. And Reb Zusha was under opinion that Klal Yisrael has to have a Rav Tov. They have to have everything, a Chavas Hadas, all sorts of Hashbaz Taivas. No matter what, the Klal Yisrael deserved all these Hashbaz Taivas. So he said as to bring out the points, he said, the Pasuk says, V'ram levavecha, v'shachachtas Hashem lekecha, right? For Klal Yisrael, right? Right? You can end up having too much Chavas Hadas. Chas v'shalom, V'ram levavecha, to become a Bali guy, v'shachachtas Hashem lekecha. So he says, he touched up in only the way Reb Zusha could touch it up. He says, "Ram levavecha." So when Klal Yisrael has kol tov and they're feeling good about themselves, he says, "B'shachachta Hashem lekecha." You become shchiach, Eitzel Kadosh Baruch Hu, right? Like the lashon in Gemara, Mishkach Shchichi, right? And it says that, or Ashkach Mitzia, he says that when a person has the Hachavas Hadas to focus, and he's not so sitting and worried and fearful of his future and feeling so insecure, then either Ram Levavech, you have this tremendous Hachavas Hadas and this sense of godless. Then v'shachachtas Hashem lekecha, you'll be shchiach to have Hashem in your life, and you'll know it'll be much easier for Klal Yisrael to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That could be zeicha to emulate the ways of tzaddik, to have the upbeatness, to recognize the beauty of the world all the time, and to be mashpia tova to Klal Yisrael, the schus be mashpia tova to Klal Yisrael, and bring an achas ruach to HaKadosh Baruch Hu be'ez Hashem yizrach.